Now let's make this a little more difficult here. Maybe we can introduce 3 different pitches. Let's take a look at that. Now let's make this a little more interesting. Our brain really starts to get challenged when we start recognizing patterns, right? You guys remember learning the ABCs? That was easy. When you had to start learning words, that's when things started to get a little more tricky. Learning what goes together, what doesn't go together, so that we can actually, turn into language and being able to write. Same thing with music. So, same 3 pitches, C, D, and E. I want you guys to tell me what the pattern is here. Listen very closely. You find it helps to close your eyes. Here we go. Let's try this out. So if I were to say, I'll give you the first pitch, and you tell me the next 3 that follow it. What do you think? We went from C. What were the next 3? Well, if you said D, C, and E, you'd be correct. We went from C, D, to C, to E. All right? Let's try a different pattern. This time I'm not going to start on C. I'm not even going to tell you the first pitch on this one. I want you to tell me which one it is. Here's C, here's D, here's E. So you tell me the next 4 notes, but try to start by guessing the first one. What do you think? What do we start on? Do we start on C, D, or E? Well, hopefully you guys have noticed there that we started on the highest pitch that we had available, which is E. And then we went down to C. We went up a little bit to D. And we went back down to the low note C. So that would have been E, C, D, C. Now that's pretty simple. Let's try a different pattern. Threw a few more pitches into that one. But hopefully you guys can figure that out. Which one do you think the first pitch was? Well, it was D. D, C, E, D, and then C. Again, that was 5 notes there. So these are the very basic beginnings for it, all right? So now I'm going to give you guys a few little challenges here before we go, all right? I'm going to ask that you guys answer these on the Padlet and just give it your best guess, all right? So these are really the first steps to developing our ear. So this is just an introduction to ear training. And of course, things get much more interesting from here. So just give us a chance, guys, stick with it. And, this is step 1. We'll get back at this in the coming weeks. So if you have any questions, feel free to put them on your Padlet response. But make sure you put your Padlet response. Now, there are a few questions over here on the Padlet. So I'm going to put those questions in here right now. So you have to watch the video to figure this out. And you just answer the answers on the Padlet and just give me your best guess, all right? So let's have some fun with it, and I'll see you guys after we finish. All right, guys, so we're going to try some patterns here. You try to tell me what you hear. All right, here's pattern number 1. We're going to start on the pitch C. It's going to be 4 notes. You start, let's say C down as your first note for question 1, and you guys try to tell me the other 3 after it. Here's question 2. Now we're going to start on the pitch E. Here we go. Question 2 is 5 pitches, all right? We started on E. You tell me the other 4 after it. Clue, some of them do repeat. Here's question 3. We're going to start on the pitch D. So you put down D as your first pitch for question 3. Here we go. Those 5 pitches. We started on D. You tell me the next 4 after it as well. Here's question 4. We're going to start on the pitch E. So put down E as your first one. Here we go. A few more pitches there. Put down your answers as you can. If you need to go back and listen to it, go right ahead. There you go. That's the same one again. Now for question 5, I'm not going to tell you the starting pitch. I want you to tell me if you can guess it. Give me your best shot here. Take this as a little challenge, guys. Just 4 notes there. Hopefully by context you can figure it out. So I'll play one more time for question 5. And of course, go back, take a listen to them. You can rewind the video if you didn't catch it the first time. When you're first starting off, it may take 2 or 3 times to hear each one.
But I figured rather than me playing it 3 times in a row here and boring you, you guys can just go back and rewind the video and take a listen to it. All right, remember, this is all for you guys to improve your hearing here. So just give it your best shot here. I know it's not the most flashiest thing in the world, but I think you'll find it useful.
All right, guys, that's it for this week. So that's just introduction to ear training. We'll do a little bit more interesting ear training next week. I admit this is really basic stuff. It's like kindergarten for music, and in some ways, and that's because for a lot of us, we haven't had to develop our ear in this way before. So we're just starting off pretty simple here. We're gonna make it a little more interesting in the coming weeks. All right, so just stick with us, especially if you like to be a singer. Just remember, anybody that tells you that they're tone deaf, they just never got the good education with their ear to develop those skills like we do with all our other subjects in school. All right, guys, that's it for this week. I'll see you guys again here back next week. Have a good one, everybody. Peace.